destroy planets, but you can never destroy what I am, friend.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most iconic moments, scenes, or episodes that completely changed the anime industry.
Before we even start this, I appreciate them so much for putting Pokemon in the anime realm, because I don't know how many times they done tried to disregard Pokemon because Pokemon was younger. It was for a longer time ago generation. Bro, if you remember Pokemon was some of the most visually stunning moments back then. It was Pokemon, Digimon, what else? I don't know if they in the same time frame, but Cowboy Bebop, Shaman King. That's what I was trying to remember. Shaman King, and I guess you could throw. I feel like you could throw Spider Riders up there too. Spider Riders was my shit. I'm just gonna let that be known. Spider Riders, man. Spider Riders was gas, bro. Calling all. It was the song. The song used to get me every time, bro. But every time I come home after school. When I say I was walking home trying to get home to watch Mon, bro, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, bro, Yu-Gi-Oh on Saturdays, Yu-Gi-Oh was always the last thing, because we ain't have cable. So the last thing at the end of WB50, before those dumbass infomercials used to come on and like blow your whole day, especially if you ain't had nothing to do on a Saturday or nowhere to go, no friends, was 11:30 in the morning. It will always be Yu-Gi-Oh. And then WB50 started changing, and they went from WB50 with the little frog to, I think, CW. I think that's when they went to CW. When they went to CW, Yu-Gi-Oh used to play 2 times, 11 to 12. So it'd just play 2 full Yu-Gi-Oh episodes. Boy, when I say it was gas, bro. Merrick, Wing Dragon and Rock, the little 2 twin bulb brothers that was in the little tunnel. With the little tunnel cards. Hey yo, OG Yu-Gi-Oh was crank. But Pokemon, Shaman King, everything they used to play in that little daytime joint. Digimon, bro, all of that used to crank. But I was definitely, I don't know, I used to pick sides at a young age. Because I was definitely more Pokemon than Digimon. Then I got my first Game Boy Color. I was definitely hardcore Yu-Gi-Oh than any other card game. I wanted to be in the Beyblades because I used to see youngins playing that for youngins who mothers had money to spend like that. And I always thought Beyblades was cool, but never got into them. And then I recently went to a mall like a couple weeks ago with my boy. And when we went to the mall, I saw Beyblades sitting on the shelf. And I was like, bro, we not about to run this childhood back. He was like, bro, we just came out of a store with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like, you never know. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to be real, Yu-Gi-Oh cards still run a pretty penny. I know a dude from a couple of years ago. He used to. It was I remember this day like anything. We was in McDonald's. We was all sitting. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay for something back then to eat. I mean, to sit in the junk. We're sitting there, mess with the cards. He sold one Yu-Gi-Oh card to a youngin for 70 bones, and I feel like most of us knew it was a scammery, but we let it slide. Like you're not about to knock another man hustle. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how he get his bread and butter. But crazy.
Number 10, 20th Chojin Olympics arc.
Ultimate Muscle? What is this?
These days, every great shonen anime has a good old-fashioned tournament arc.
That's Ultimate Muscle.
If you wanna know why, you have to go all the way back to 1983's Kinnikuman, more specifically, the 20th Chojin Olympics arc. At its core, it's nothing more than
that's Ultimate Muscle, bro.
Kinnikuman enters, meets some quirky characters, beats them up, and calls it a day. But the brilliant intersection of plot development, character growth, and high-octane action was so popular, it quickly became the formula for all future shonen.
Bro, that's Ultimate Muscle, bro.
The World Martial Arts Tournament, the Chunin Exams, UA's Sports Festival, or something else, you have Kinnikuman to thank for it.
Bro, that's Ultimate Muscle, bro.
Number 9, Usagi's first transformation, Sailor Moon.
I've always wanted to, but I think mentally I associated Sailor Moon with femininity. But I've always wanted to watch Sailor Moon. And I don't know why I don't now. I think it's because right now I got a lot of stuff on the back burner. So I got My Hero Season 6. My Hero Season 7 about to come out. I got, what is it? My Hero Season 6. I got Solo Leveling, which I'm really trying to wait for. Like, I'm really trying to let those episodes stack. One Piece, always in my top 3. Let's be clear. And One Piece, only reason I do not have that up right now is because I'm trying to let the episodes stack. The Egghead arc is something I feel like I really need to invest in, especially after eye surgery. I want to make sure to give it my full attention, and to do that, I have to wipe out all the other animes that I'm watching. Hell's Paradise is one of them that's up there. When that Black Clover come out, I'm on that. It's 2 of them. Ninja Kamui, definitely, because I want to, but I really want to let, same thing, I want to let that stack just like Solo Leveling. And not Ninja Kamui, it's Urban Ninja. Urban Ninja is a joint I found on the site that I watch my anime on. And Urban Ninja is, Mimi, don't look behind me like that, like it's something behind me. Urban Ninja is a joint about if I'm right, if I remember correctly, it's ninjas versus the German government. And like the German government be using like spies and stuff, but they also use like certain ninja tech. But then the urban ninjas, they be using anything. Like they just be putting stuff together. And the part that I'm at right now is this one ninja dude. He popped up. He's kind of like the you know how you get that one crazy character from like every anime that's like a little bit psychotic, but you gotta bang with them because it's a reason they psychotic. Like they fighting ability is like out of pocket on some like Killua type shit. It's this one dude who has this ninja tech suit, and he has like the latest model, and his latest model lets him go completely invisible. So he just be going around the city going crazy, bro. But if it's not those, Solo Leveling, My Hero. My Hero just kind of on a wait, because season 6 was kind of giving me like a Batman feel, and I was like, all right, let me wait and then go back to it, and then I'm gonna jump back in. So I'm gonna go back to the beginning of season 6 to get prepared for season 7. Demon Slayer took a real fine-tooth comb to get into that for real, but once you do, I feel like you really should get like really give it a chance, seriously. And there's something else that's getting a season 3. I know Bleach's arc has temporarily stopped, but that was a really good arc. And those episodes were nuts. Definitely made me jump into the Bleach game that is on Steam. And I think it was some new ones that I haven't tried yet. Solo Leveling is gas. Mother, there's no question. JJK season, as soon as it come out, the day it drop, I don't care. Buchagiri, that's what it's called. Buchagiri is one of the ones that I want to get into. But as soon as I have the time and I clean up some of my other animes.
While not the first magical girl anime, and not the first to have a transformation sequence, Usagi Tsukino's is easily the most iconic. After all, she shook the entire anime landscape with nothing more than hearts, pigtails, and of course some moon prism power. Sailor Moon's legendary transformation scenes popularized the trend of creating highly detailed cuts of animation that could be used across several episodes. Usagi's influence spread way beyond the magical girl genre though. Nowadays, it's commonplace for any kind of show to reuse high-quality animation for specific transformations, attacks, or evolutions. In fact, at this point, it's weirder if they don't. Who knew the moon prism power had so much impact?
見事だセーラームーン今夜のこと覚えておこう
Number 8, Naruto vs Sasuke.
Yes, sir.
Naruto.
gotta be in the conversation. What? Yes, sir.
The fated throwdown between star-crossed rivals is an anime staple for a reason, but even compared
So
to the
good.
decades
The
of
animation was
jaw-dropping
so
bouts
good.
that came before, the original Naruto takes the trope to another level. The series spends over 100 episodes meticulously nurturing the conflict between the two young genin. Then, when Naruto and Sasuke finally came to blows at the Valley of...
Bro, you gotta appreciate the OG shit, bro. Like, for me, Naruto was what I was watching in high school. Actually, no, I wasn't even watching it in high school. I was actually a manga reader back then. I can't read now because I just don't like to. I really enjoyed the animation. Like, people always say the manga is better, you know, they give more episodes. You know, that's cool and all, but like, honestly, if to me personally, in my opinion, if an anime was supposed to end, if the animation just stopped and they just stopped doing it, then that's where my story ended, because the animation of it is what I enjoy so much. Like, my older brother used to draw, I used to draw. I've always been into like different sequences and stuff like that, and to watch them go from drawing this plain, colorless, black and whites, to go to this, and then the different scenes and like every little flip, every little movement, you know what I'm saying? You got Saiyans, you got devil fruits, you got chakra, you got ki, what is it? Aura, spirits, like any of those type of elements, like I've always enjoyed. Only thing I can't really get down with, and I ain't gonna hold you, it's only one anime I've been able to do this with for a little bit, and it was Tiger and Bunny, and that was Gundams, like mechs. Oh my god, I can't. The two things I can't do is mechs and space. I've always despised space stuff, except for Mass Effect. I've always loved Mass Effect, especially Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect was an amazing storyline. But space and mechs, I can never get into Gundams. I can never get into the big bots. I think the last, before Tiger and Bunny, it was probably an OG Power Rangers, honestly. Like the Zords and Voltron. That was it.
Of the end, the animation went all out.
They did, bro.
Number
so
7,
good,
combining
bro.
2D and 3D. Ghost in the Shell.
本拠ですってそうささやく
See, this how I know I need to go back, bro.
Back in the 90s, most anime productions were hesitant to acknowledge
Look
the
good.
growing viability of CGI animation. Ghost in the Shell, however, took that as a challenge. With a groundbreaking new process called digitally generated animation, Ghost in the Shell managed to combine traditional cell artwork with
Look at it,
three-dimensional
bro.
graphics.
Vintage
To
anime
say
was
it
so
worked
good.
would be a major understatement. All it takes is a single viewing to understand why this film is considered a benchmark for 3D animation in anime. Without Ghost in the Shell revolutionizing what the medium could do, it's hard to say if there'd even be a market for CG anime today.
君と融合したい
融合
完全な統一だ君も私も相対は多少変化するだろうが失うものは何もない
Number 6, Ace died.
Why the fuck would they put this up here? And why the fuck would this be number 6, bro? Number 6 for Ace dying is so crazy. That's crazy, bro. Alright, so a little bit of background, right? When it comes to my love for One Piece, my One Piece love comes from one big thing, one big moment. So at the time I was watching it, who the person is now an ex, but I was watching it with somebody who was, you know, cool, important, etc., etc. The villain arc starter, if you will, one of them. And then when she dipped, she ghosted, and when she ghosted, I watched this for months prior to when she came around. It took me 3 months to get to episode, I want to say like 600, and I watched nothing else. If it wasn't this, it was probably, if it was something live action during that time frame, it was probably Pretty Little Lies, because Pretty Little Lies was decent until I started to see the cycle of how the show went. So when I got to around the Big Mom arc and shit like that, right? Or no, actually, no, she was definitely discussed at that time period. Before that was this, and this was Marineford, and this was around the time where my older brother had passed. And when I watched this scene and Ace passed and Luffy like blanked out, bro, when I say it was fucking hard, it was hard, bro, to not link the comparison between younger brother to older brother and younger brother to older brother. I was hurt, bro. Not only that, Ace had a personality similar to my brother. Like, my brother's always been real family oriented, but he also kind of distances himself. Ace kind of did the same thing. When he reintroduces himself, you can clearly tell that his younger brother, his little brother, showed him hella love because of the brother that he was prior to. It was so comparable, like so similar. And bro, when I did not expect him to die, bruh. The level of heat, bro, I did not expect Ace to die. When I say I was irking, because by this point, I was doing a One Piece challenge. One Piece challenge is, you started from 1 and you just go. But you're somebody who's never seen it. So you have to go with it, all of it. And I watched everything. I was on fillers, the episodes when youngins is just talking. I was into everything. Like, I'm probably not like the youngin that can do One Piece trivia because I forget stuff all the time. But like, if you give me the moments that like link to other moments, I can tell you what got them to there. Like, what got that moment to this moment type shit. But like, bro, One Piece, I'm sorry. I just feel I feel like this need to be further up the line.
Is One Piece. Anyone who flicked on this show expecting sunshine and rainbows all the time was left sorely disappointed. In this famous scene, Luffy actually fails big time, and as a result his older brother dies.
Bro, it's like when you watch One Piece, right? Like, you see the way Luffy is, right? He's very whimsical character, very like funny character. And he's definitely had his fair share of like moments where you feel like he would have failed or he should have failed. Especially when him and Zoro first set out to sea together. They went to go when they were starting Sanji's period. I'm gonna call it an arc, even though, you know. But during Sanji's arc, when they were first fighting the people there, like, that was already looking like an L. Then Zoro gets stabbed by Mihawk, and then that creates the slash across his chest that I think it was supposed, I don't know why, but it stopped bleeding. It was supposed to never stop bleeding, or it never heals or something like that. I thought that was a real cool dynamic on an ability that a character would have, especially to call himself the best. To dog you out with the little baby bandit knife was a lot. But like, I feel like they've definitely had Luffy, the Straw Hats, they definitely had moments where they were supposed to fail, or you would immediately assume that they would fail, because I think the anime and the animators do a good job of kind of playing on people when you start to get to certain point, at least in the beginning, where you got to certain points that you will automatically think the most negative, and then because he's such a goofy and whimsical character, you would think like, you know, oh, he's not gonna become the king of pirates, or he's not gonna, you know, defeat this enemy and that type of thing. When you are playing on a person's constant ability to immediately assume the negative, and you think like that, and you have that cycle of thought, because some of us do, playing on that particular, it keeps you on the edge of your seat when you play on that particular part of the psyche. And I think they did a really good job of that. I would say though, out of all the things I could think off the top of my head, I would say in terms of his biggest fail, this would be the one. This was at least the first one that I can think of. I mean, when he was fighting Kaido, he got bitched. I'm sorry. In the beginning, oh my God. That one hit, that one hit in the beginning when they was just wrecking, like, he just came to the island flat out. He was like, because, you know, Luffy want all the smoke. He don't duck no problem. And when he met up with Kaido and like he knew all the stuff Kaido was doing on the back scene and the fact that he had took over Wano Kuni, yeah, your man had beef. And Kaido was not for that shit. He was like, I'm the king of this bitch. You are not about to come here and play with my city like this, because this is mine now. I took it appropriately. I did what pirates do type shit. But yeah, in terms of big fails, definitely the biggest one.
Ace's death marked a major tonal shift in One Piece, and since it's one of the longest running anime of all time, that alone is grounds for respect. But above all that, it shook the foundation of what fans expected out of battle anime. In this case, the hero couldn't just power up and overcome the odds. It sounds simple, but when
not only that, bro, like look at this lineup, bro. Look at this lineup for when he was like, I'm finna, this moment right here, like when he was saying he was gonna get Ace back. I did not think that the first thing that he would come with is a wooden peg or the mast. The reason I say that is because, first of all, Kuzan, the youngin on the far left, has ice ability. Could have just froze it just as easily, right? I always forget Cuz in the middle name because I hate him. But Lava Cuz, I'm gonna call him Lava Cuz. Lava Cuz could have just burned it. Like, I just felt like it was such a weird start to the battle. And then like her, the youngin, so this dude is a problem, bro. He is a problem in the game. He is a problem in the anime. He moves at the speed of light. He uses light to battle. So a lot of this, and he has ability of himself. He has an ability where he can turn into just a body of light, like just an embodiment of light. And with the wooden log, and you see what I'm saying? Like when you play on the negatives, like wooden log, skinny boy, skinny stretchy man, ice cuz, lava cuz, light cuz. I feel like that's a problem. Not only that, all these niggas sitting there like 6'3", like what the fuck? They my height type shit, and they just standing there like we all knew that you wasn't gonna be able to turn up on us. Like that's pretty much what this particular standing was. I am glad though, because Kuzan, the one on the far left, he is actually gone from the Navy cuzes, and I appreciate that because he's gas.
the hero couldn't just power up and overcome the odds. It sounds simple, but when this episode aired, Ace's death showed the world that One Piece, and shonen as a whole, wasn't playing around anymore.
Tops, bro, I'm telling you, it's a reason. He ain't gonna shut a blackout though.
Number 5,
they ain't gonna shut a blackout.
Seasons, My Hero Academia.
Ooh, that was a good one.
You know the saying, less is more? Well, it took some anime a long time to learn that lesson.
Sheesh.
Luckily, My Hero Academia was the exception. Its first season only ran for 13 episodes, and since then, it's never aired more than 25 in a single year. But the studio wasn't cheaping out on quality, quite the opposite actually.
Yeah,
In the past, most battle-heavy anime, specifically Shonen Jump ones, aired year-round, leading to glacially slow pacing and lackluster animation. By pouring more resources into fewer episodes, My Hero Academia became an all-killer, no-filler sensation. The trend took off, and now almost every single shonen airs in tight, pre-planned seasons instead. Just look at Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, hell, even Bleach now. My Hero really did save the day.
You gotta think about what that does though. Like, it's the fact that like one anime becomes a trendsetter for others to do particular things, but for My Hero to start to set up the catalyst that is like the 12 episode, invest heavily in your 12 episodes catalyst, and they have been dogging shit like almost every like I say every season. Yeah, almost every season and every episode except for the one where everything starts to go downhill, and then Deku kind of does the Batman arc. That's why I'm stopping at 6 right now, because I can't talk about 6 because I don't know too much about 6. But like when he starts that arc, everything, bro. Especially when I always forget his name because he a dickhead. Todoroki's dad, when he fights the Nimue for the first time, the Sky Nimue, the one that could talk and shit, like, oh my god, when I say they put money into that episode, boy. And not only that, just to go back to One Piece real quick, One Piece spends about I want to say, I can't remember if it's 90k or 70k per episode. So that could tell you during the Wano Kuni arc, Wano Kuni was turned. But I'm gonna just let that slap. But My Hero being the catalyst for all the other animes to do the 12 episode run, it makes it so much better for us. Like, so many other animes are gonna have that 12 episode run, and those 12 episodes are gonna be the absolute gas.
Number 4, Movie Mayhem. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Mugen Train.
I'm interested.
With one quick trip to theaters, Demon Slayer went from a hit show to a record-breaking phenomenon. The numbers don't lie. Mugen Train was the highest grossing film of 2020, period. No ifs, ands, or buts. For context, that's the first time a non-American production has ever topped the worldwide box office charts. Alongside that, Mugen Train also became the top-earning Japanese movie of all time too, just in case it didn't have enough records under its belt.
Demon Slayer, talk your shit, bro. God damn. Hey, yo. You gotta understand, bro. That does a lot, bro. That does a lot for Japan, but that also does a lot against other movies, because that means that you have to create something to battle against those particular numbers. And that was just 2020. It's 2024 now? That was just 2020. And you still see shit about Demon Slayer after Demon Slayer is paused because they're making the next season, which is coming out this year, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's actually April, if I'm not mistaken. That says a lot, and that makes everybody have to do better. And that should be happening in all movie forms, in all anime forms, in all TV forms. You have to want to compete against the people prior to. Like, we earlier today we did the horror movie reaction. Horror movies, you have to fight against it. You have to make it better. You have to make the plot better. You have to make the stumbles better. You have to make your kills more gruesome. You have to perform. And for Demon Slayer to do that well, I mean, not even that well, to just do, because clearly they broke records that like nobody expected. He could have said period, like that was it. Like there was nothing, there was no other record that needed to be said about Demon Slayer. But for them to do that for anime, it does a lot. For anime lovers, the OGs and the new kids, that does a lot. For for anime as a whole and things like conventions, that does a lot. That does a lot of fucking shit, like a lot of good shit, bro.
Given these staggering results, it's really no surprise that every popular show is now getting a theatrical release. If Mugen Train was any indication, the future of anime is on the big screen.
悔しいな。何か一つできるようになっても、またすぐ目の前に分厚い壁があるんだ。
Number 3, the first Super Saiyan transformation. Goku, Namek, golden hair. Need we say more?
Bro, I just need to say this, bro. Say what you want. OG DBZ was the absolute crank. And no other DBZ has topped OG DBZ. Say what you want. I don't care. I'm not talking about graphics. I'm not talking about None of the goofy shit we can talk about or battle about. I'm talking about the fact that first, the plot, two, the transformations. The joke that everybody make about DBZ being 3 episodes long to make one transformation, that came from this. Okay, this DBZ, the vintage drawn, like the real grainy look. I love grainy anime. I love like vintage drawn anime, but that real grainy look plus the power-ups. When I say I watched this joint and I was falling, I was into this one. This one was good to me. The best to me.
With a legacy that almost speaks for itself, the debut of Super Saiyan helped usher in what anime is today, especially for action-oriented shows. Even by today's standards, there aren't many iconic power-ups that don't owe something to this historic screamfest.
Has Frieza pushed Goku's rage to new heights? And can Goku avenge the life of his close friend Krillin?
But it didn't just influence anime itself, it also influenced those who watched it. On a pure fan level, this scene had kids around the world yelling out in hopes of growing their own golden hair. Talk about good marketing. Over the years, there's been a lot of rip-offs and...
Y'all know what's crazy about that too, though? If you think about it. It was something I read a couple of years ago. Look at the Sword of Frieza tail. There was something I read a few years ago, right? And it was like, when you yell, like an actual, like a guttural yell, you actually, decrease certain levels of anxiety and depression, just because you can, all that shit that you have bottled up all the time, you can finally let that loose one time. Says a lot, bro. Says a lot, bro. I'm not about to keep going, but like that just says, you know what I'm saying, what anime does. I'm just saying, I was Naruto running on my high school campus. I'm just saying.
Remakes. No matter what though, Goku's first Super Saiyan transformation remains the literal gold standard.
How will Frieza be able to stand up to Goku now that the legendary power of the Super Saiyan has awakened within him?
Number 2, Spirited Away wins the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature.
Best Animated
Spirited
Feature!
Away, despite its creative merits, anime...
Hey yo, Spirited Away was the gas, bro. That shit was so good, bro. Spirited Away was so good. And it was so good because it was so well drawn. Like, Spirited Away, Paprika, there's one I always forget the name. It's a single word, and I always forget the name. I didn't even get to finish it, so I definitely need to find it. But like those types of drawn animes where they're like real vibrant and real different than the others. Princess Mononoke is another one up there. Man, yo.
It has traditionally been considered a niche in English-speaking countries.
Don't say that!
But then Spirited Away came along. Hayao Miyazaki's magnum opus drew such rave reviews, English language critics couldn't ignore it anymore. In 2001, the movie made history as the first Japanese film to ever win the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. Just like that, Spirited Away was a trailblazer for the whole medium.
Once you've met someone, you never really forget them. It just takes a while for your memories to return.
Its unprecedented success put anime on the map as not just a mainstream form of entertainment, but a worthwhile art form in its own right. The fact that anime continues to grow in the worldwide market is at least in part because of what Spirited Away accomplished.
New home and a new school. It is a bit...
The other thing I forgot to say, OG Dragon Ball Z and Spirited Away, just because they're in this list. Some of the best music, like some of the best music to have compiled with those particular scenes, those moments. Spirited Away got it for so many reasons.
Scary.
I think I can handle it.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe. The option go into your episode. Pokemon.
それはこの天才秋葉原博士が作り出した CG ポケモンポリゴンの初号機だ
CG ポケモンポリゴン
In 1997, Porygon debuted in Pokemon, and anime hasn't been the same since. We aren't kidding. Dubbed the Pokemon Shock, the now infamous episode features Pikachu unleashing a thunderbolt inside the internet, causing a frenzied light show in the process. The visual effect
Bruh, I wish I had known that's what was going on when I saw this episode. When I first saw Porygon, I started tripping, bro. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, that Joe don't even look like a Pokemon, bro. But I'm saying Pikachu throwing a Thunderbolt inside the internet is OP. Like, if I had known that's what was going on when I was younger, bro.
That sent more than 600 viewers to the hospital with symptoms of epileptic seizures. In response, Japanese broadcasters came together to enforce industry-wide regulations on flashing colors in anime. To this day, any scene with bright lights or lots of movement are intentionally dimmed in post-production before they're allowed to air. So if you ever have to crank up the brightness to watch a cool fight, remember that Porygon's to blame. Did we miss any?
You have to consider how you feel about that. Like, for one, it's iconic for a bad reason, but it also says a lot as to why certain animes, certain shows always have the warning beforehand. Like, that's like, it's not cool because of the epileptic shock of other people. You know, there's a possibility that those 600 people, some people might have died. Hopefully everybody got help. But like, the fact that is an episode that has particular heft on the rest of the anime society is cool.
Any industry shaking moments? Don't be shy. Let us know in those comments below. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from...
Ooh, I might need to do this one. I might need to do that one.
I have a wife, and I wonder if she be alright. Big Brody got hit in his temple.